Hello there guys, my name's Northern Princess. Welcome to another route learning video here on the channel. So this is a new series, so I don't know why I said welcome to another one. But today we're doing a hoodless drive from here at Bedford down to St Pancras in the East Midlands trains, class 43, HST, 43050 leading with 081 on the back pushing in the 11 years of East Midlands trains liveries. These liveries were commemorative liveries applied about a week ago to commemorate the end of the East Midlands trains franchise. And the locals had them for about a week or two total before the end of the franchise. So it's probably a bit more than a week ago now. Now, for me, the franchise ended yesterday. For you guys, probably about a week ago. But that's just the way YouTube is. Now, and I just thought, what a nice little nod to the franchise to, play them out, if you like, on a route learning video. So I've heavily modified an Armstrong Powerhouse scenario to make it sort of 2019 image. Hence, we've got class 700s over there. And one over there. They don't have numbers because it's the Abu 700, so I don't really care. And we're here at Bedford, and we're going to be driving all the way down to London, calling at Luton Airport Parkway en route. Now, a big thanks goes out to PTG Rail, who's one of the biggest train sim YouTubers, I think, if not the biggest, who sort of very much pioneered this aspect of train sim, driving without the hood, and making really lovely YouTube videos of it. I will link his channel in the description below, because he is an absolutely outstanding content creator, and if there's anything I can do to support him, then I certainly will. Anyway guys, without further ado, let's do some driving. So as this loco's already arrived, or this set's already arrived, inbound from Sheffield, you can see we're taking over to do the route. Now, as this loco's already arrived inbound from Sheffield, the cab's already fully set up, so we don't have to worry about that much. Should put that in neutral, naughty previous driver. But apart from that, we're ready to go. Things to note with this though, unfortunately we don't have a DRA, which would be a driver's reminder appliance. If we've got to pull that to stop me taking power before I realise that actually we're departing against a single amber aspect, which would indicate that the next signal aspect, which is about down there somewhere, is a red. So we need to be aware of that. So we're going to do a nice slow departure out of here. Just being prepared to stop within basically sight distance for us. And that's the main points for us during this drive today. What I'll do is I will try and sort of talk a little bit about the class 43s, the HST, as well as the previous class 43s maybe, as well as talking a little bit about East Mids trains and the route itself. Alrighty, so I'm nearly ready to go. Yeah, about 11 minutes. So a good thing to use is the clock. So we should be arriving at about 1:15 into Luton, and we're scheduled for we're scheduled to be in London 25 minutes later. Okay, let's take power. So I'm going to depart into notch 2 of power. We'll have to put the reverser in forward. And just do a nice slow and gentle pull away. I'm going to kick it, give it a bit more of a kick and go to notch 3. So the HST's actually been in service for about 43 years now, which is quite impressive. Our starting speed limit, by the way, is 50 miles an hour. But I want to go no faster than about 25. Just because I know we're probably going to be held, because we're currently on the up slow line, but we won't be going along that line over there, which is the up fast. Also over there you can see we've got the 700 in the character tidings that I mentioned earlier. Over there, that's the line towards Bedford St John's and onto Bletchley, which is on the West Coast main line, which is usually operated by London Midland, or as they're now known as London North Western Railway, operated by West Midlands Trains, because that's not a mouthful. Some lovely 700s there. As I say, this is a heavily modified Armstrong Powerhouse scenario, as such I can't use it because that would be piracy, and we don't do that on this channel. So we said 25, we'll go maybe a bit faster, 30. We are now crossing the river. The name of this river does escape me. Okay, we've got the red aspect, so I'm just going to idle. It is the River Great Ooze. That's a class 222, which is a Meridian. They're the other types of units that East Midlands trains operated. They're being kept in service, I believe, and the HSTs are going to be leaving East Midlands Railway in the not too distant future, being replaced by class 180s, class 180 Atalantes, and class 800s, I believe. There we go, brakes off. And we have the 90 board there, but when we join the fast line, our line speed increases to 110. I am going to learn this route in the down direction as well in the class 319. Which is my favourite electric multiple unit within Train Maker at the moment. I'll probably do it in one of the older liveries just for a bit of variety in our content, but we'll cross that bridge as and when we get to it, yeah. So you can see we've got 50 on the crossover point. I'm going to kick it up to notch 4. Just for a bit of clank pouring out the roof. And we've got a 50 again on this crossover point, so we can keep that speed coming up. Now that turn off we just passed there, that is the turn off into Bedford, Caldwell Depot. So yeah, we're now accelerating up to that line speed of 110, so what I'm going to do, I'm going to kick up in at notch 5 now. Okay, just keeping an eye on the speed. Power's fully in now. So quick cab tour. Something I always forget to do is reactivate the AWS, or the DSD, sorry. And I'll only notice after a while driving. So quick cab tour for the HST. From left to right, we've got the headlight switch, the engine room light, which isn't inoperative at the moment, the cab light, markers, tail lamps, desk light, de-icer, and bright and dim controls. ETH controls, they're actually the electronic train supply is turned on in the rear cab. Parking brake on off. Fire test, which kills the engine, so don't go pressing that when you're moving along. AWS, fault light, general fault light, wheel slip warning, engine stop light, engine start stop switches, driver guard buzzer, reverser, AWS, horn, clock, engine ammeter, speedometer. That's the main things to note in the cab. Of course, got the DSD pedal down there, that makes that noise on this train. Got another 222 coming towards us. Okay. The next station will pass through should be Flitwick, followed by Leegrave. It is Flitwick, Harlington, Leegrave, Luton, and Luton Airport Parkway. So, Harlington's actually the least used station that will be passing on our route today, with about 336,000 passengers last year, which is on the rise. Okay, and what we're going to do now that we're at 110, we're actually going to bring the power off. Actually, I'll leave it notch. We'll go off just to make it a nice, slightly gentle arrival. So this is the, I do forget the name of these tunnels, but we do need to start braking for them. We've got the 100, brakes come off. And we're going to coast through the tunnel. Kick notch 3 in actually, just to keep a bit of power on. And what we're going to do, it's usually passing that underbridge, or that overbridge, sorry, that would kick into full power. I'm going to do it a little bit sooner just because the HSDs were never well known for their acceleration properties. And my notes are actually written to drive this in a Class 222. Which does add an interesting dimension to my sort of route knowledge and my ability to drive different trains. So the DSD chime you hear there, you basically have to lift your toes off the pedal and back down again, and it's just a test to make sure that we haven't passed out and died, effectively. In America they call them the dead man's pedal. The idea being if you're having a heart attack you can lift your foot off it. There we go, that was Harlington Station. So my apologies, Flitwick Station. Next station, Harlington. The least used station on this route. A little bit quick there. And back into notch 3 a pound we go. In this part of the country, not exactly being famous for hills, so we can generally just sort of cruise in a fixed power setting. Now, since this route's been made for Train Simulator, there have been some upgrades to the route, which do allow for 125 running. As we go careening through Harlington Station, the least used station on this route. station will be passing will be Leegrave. As I say, the Midland is just, it's as well, when you do it in the down direction, what I really enjoy is you start sort of going through the countryside and through little towns and cities. And then, you know, you get closer and closer and it just builds up and up and up. And I do actually enjoy it. It's one of my favourite runs in the game at present. This is probably my YouTube video for today, actually. I'm trying to get into a habit of creating, at the moment I've got a few days off work, and I'm trying to get into the habit of creating videos every day. What I'm going to do is make my first proper vlog. My first vlog for this, my first sort of proper vlog. The shoot-up video that I did, well, I'd be lying if I said I didn't know why it's popular, but yeah, that wasn't really my attempt for a popular one. So I'm going to be doing, I'm actually going to bug one of my friends and see if she wants to do something after work, because I think she's at work tomorrow, but I live a 25-minute walk from where we work, so we could potentially do something after. Or reverse up my fire extinguisher isolated on this power car in the event of fire, use pull handle. Okay. So basically what it's saying is when this cab's in use, in forward or reverse, which is sort of the actual operational position, the fire triggers, we have to pull it manually, whereas the idea is this cab isn't powered on, so if this power car was to fail, that it would just, or catch fire, it would just discharge the fire at bottle automatically, saving us the stress of having to come to a stand and sorting it from there. Don't know why it does this. I've chosen to ignore that because that's not something I can fix. Sorry about that, guys. So this is Leegrave Station. Next station passing will be Luton. Okay, so just because we are travelling at speed here, I'm going to kick a bit of brake on, get that speed down to maybe 30, 40 or 50, because I know from judging this scenario previously that we're going to have to come to a stand. Also, that 700 that we overtook is the one that left Bedford just before us. I want the speed down to about 40 for this section, maybe 35. I do absolutely love driving the HSTs though. I've got to say, I was chatting to a driver, and even they enjoy them. Like, even now, they're 43 years old, but you know, even they love running an HST power car. I was thinking there was a weird noise in the fans on my computer. Nope, not the fans, just something in the game. So, well, we are really creeping up to it, but I'm hoping it'll clear by the time we approach it. Might. I think we're probably going to have to come to a stand. Oh no, we've got a single amber. Probably means they're following something. So I'm going to go up to about 35, maybe 40. So it's 100 mile an hour line speed here. Worth noting that. I'm just going to peek around the corner just to see what the next signal is. because we're on this curve, we can't go much faster than this, because, you know, if a red signal pops up there, then we have to start braking pretty immediately. I'm hoping to be making a few of these videos over the next couple of days. That looks like an amber aspect. Yes, it is. Let's go. Power. And this is Luton Station. There's a 70-mile-an-hour limit passing through Luton. Not sure why some of these trains haven't actually moved yet. But hey. Dual ambers. It's 2 miles from, so it's 2 miles from here until Airport Parkway anyway, 2-3 miles I believe still, so we can basically assume a clear path all the way from here into that station. And it's about another 30 miles from here to St Pancras. There's Luton Airport Parkway. So we're going to go straight back into idle. Power's fully off now. I'm coming a bit hot, I think. What's driving? And we need to come up on the S-car marker at the end of the platform. So this is actually the newest station on this route, Luton Airport Parkway. Opened in 1999, sorry. Not built. Probably was built, was being finished being built about that time, but that doesn't really count, does it? Just going to draw up to the S-cars. A minute or two within time, which I'm happy with. One thing you never ever realise when you drive with the HUD is, especially when you're going against adverse signals, how challenging it is. I can hear a 700. Oh. I honestly think that's that 700 that we've been sort of overtaking and chasing since Bedford. Okay, in the cab we go. Let's go. Starting speed limit here is well, it's still 85 I believe, but we can go up to 105 because the speed limit changes just around the corner from here. I'm actually quite impressed with my knowledge of this route because I've not driven it without the HUD in this direction since probably more than a year actually. That's awkward. Hello, Meridian. Also, a cool bit of news for you guys, which I'll announce halfway through a video, so people are less likely to see and hear it. I am, in the not too distant future, getting a new cosplay, and one of my favourite line from the character is, "You're just as sane as I am." If you know what the character is, I'm trying to think how should I do this. If you know who the character is, type in the comments what a famous piece of headwear was that they had. famous piece of headwear. Okay, we can kick up to full power now. So remember that line speed of 105. So the next station we'll be passing will be Harpenden Station. So yeah, you can see I'm cheating a little bit, but yeah, the 105 board is invisible. But we've passed it now. The next, I'm hoping to do a London Underground route loading video on the Met line, or at least what's of it. Rude. Come on. It is very nice having the 700 actually. It does, as much as they're not the greatest models, it's something I can live with, you know what I mean? Yeah. You're limited to 80. Stick your tongues out, guys. Also, ooh, no passengers. That's fine. To be honest, again, it's one of those things. It's not a perfect model, but it's one of those things that I do believe it's better than nothing. Another Meridian. It's one of the things I do like about city driving as well. So you put the throttle in one position and leave it there. Take the brakes off and leave them there. You know, what you touch the most is the DSD pedal. Or the DSD reset. He's numbered at 75 here. Let's just get that up. So yeah, the Class 43 is the top classification, the HST power cars. So this is Harpenden Station. Harpenden Station opened in 1868, but has obviously been significantly modernised since then. So currently they're in service with Abellio ScotRail, Cross Country, East Midlands Railway, Hull Trains, Network Rail, London North Eastern Railway. 28 are still in service with Great Western as well, or 24, sorry, on West of England service towards the Castle class. And the rest are going off lease. A few have also been written off. 3 key specific. 1713 was written off at the Southwell Rail crash. 011 was written off at the Ladbroke Grove Rail crash. And 019 was written off at the Ufton Nerval level crossing crash. And one power car 43139 was dedicated to the driver of that service. Again, to the power out. I'm going a little bit quick, so I'm just going to put a notch of brake on, 2 notches of brake on, brake straight off. Really just a quick stab of brake. We're going straight into another amber aspect. Dual ambers. Bloody great. I'm going to immediately start skimming speed off. Did I speak too soon? Well, when I said what I like about in-city driving is you can just put power in and forget about everything. I'm going to coast in at 45. So about 55 I'll take power out, I'll brake off, sorry. So you can see this is the actual air brake patch, that's the pressure that's going in. This is the actual pressure that's within the bogies. I've got the 100 limit, good to know. So, in terms of East Midlands Railway, all their Pancras are still in service. Named ones specifically being Nottinghamshire Fire and Rescue, which were the ex Grand Central units. Got the single amber aspect, so we can proceed again. There were a few, I think. There was Valenta, which is one they have. Yeah, so then I believe they also have one dedicated to the lead designer of the Class 43, who was... I always forget the guy's name, because obviously everyone knows Kenneth Grange, who was the actual guy who did the visuals for it, if you like. But the chief engineer... I know his first name's Terry. He's not mentioned on the Wikipedia, so I can't find it, but yeah, I know it was Terry. I mean, with a name like Terry, you trust him to design a train. That's my... I know it's a little bit of an old-fashioned view of the world, but people with a name with names like Nigel or Terry, you trust people like that to make a train. Arthur, yes. Steve, not sure really. It's an Albany City, dual ambers. So we're going to kick up, we've got a notch 3. Just for a slow acceleration back up to speed. That was an Albany City we've passed, so we're not that far from London now in terms of stations. It's an Albany City, one of the busiest stations on the route by the way. Bedford, actually the second busiest, with passengers last year, 7.5 million passengers. We've got Radlett Station will be our next station we pass. So yeah, in terms of this area of the route, what we see is only East Mids trains and Thameslink. You do also get occasional freight runs. I've noticed there's a West Thurrock to Oxford Mains concrete run. Which takes concrete empties from basically out near sort of Barking, no, out near Dagenham, sorry, and it takes them right up to Scotland, and it goes up the Midland, then on the cross country route at Derby, and it leaves about 8 o'clock at night, and it arrives about 12 o'clock the next 12 noon the next day, and it actually goes up the Midland. Because one of the branches I'll point out diverging is the Gospel over to Barking line, which of course is part of the North London line, and it links right the way from the West Coast Main Line, the Great Western, the South Western routes as well at Clapham Junction, and it links right the way over to the east to Barking and Dagenham, and lines out into Kent, as well as obviously the East Coast, the Midland, and the Great Eastern. So it really does link all the big main lines that are sort of in the London area. So it's very common to see freight trains transiting that area, especially sort of intermodal trains coming in from London docks heading everywhere, or even sort of coming in off sort of Harwich and Felixstowe. Yeah, I can see green light ahead, so I'll go full power. So remember, our line speed now, I believe, is 105. Let me confirm my notes. So we've passed that, So no, it's 110, my apologies now. Yeah. I don't know any other way of doing it than this. Oh, I missed one of the 319s. My apologies for that, guys. I'm not sure where it hit because I'm fairly sure I got all of them. So that is a concrete factory, I believe. I do forget the name of it though. And I find driving this route very satisfying, just because, as I say, you go through, you know, the countryside, through some towns and cities, and I really think that Radler, I believe, is one of the M roads. Let me double check. Yeah, it's sort of Watford. So it's really, you know, the edge of London almost. It's next to the M1. Everything's next to the M1. I know we've already gone over the M25. Well, it's probably so it's halfway. Yeah, so it's sort of really, it's within the M25. So passing Radler is where we really start getting build up for London. Next station we'll pass will be Elstree and Boreham. As we pass through the Edgware area of London, we'll be passing Hendon Station. So it's Edgware will pass Mill Hill, and then we'll see the Royal Air Force Museum at Hendon. I can't speak today. I'm sorry, guys. But yeah, so they're being replaced largely. These things are being replaced largely. That was actually two perfect power cars there, heading north. But these are being replaced largely by Class 800s. Yeah, sort of in most of the lines of work, except on the cross country, where they seem to be getting more of these. So I think cross country have sort of said we want leftover power cars from anyone who's giving them away. And I think they're going to be taking the LNER ones on because they're supposed to be quite good. But that's not an area that I have any expertise in whatsoever. So don't ask, and I won't tell you. We're going to ignore that we had a dragging brake going on there. I'm just going to let the train accelerate. As I say, this is a very 43. Upon retirement, 43002 will be preserved at the NRM, which is 43002 is the one that's liveried up in the BR livery. Would be nice to see these guys make intercity. You know, since they're going to re-livery them, so they might as well just do something nice with them before they leave service. So, I think unfortunately this livery here is going to be one of the first, this is going to be one of the first units to be debranded. I just think it's a very nice loco. It's just a nice touch of, sort of almost like a thank you for the fun. Elstree and Boreham Station. Sorry, correction, Mill Hill Broadway. I'm confused now. Yeah, it was Elstree Boreham. Next one's Mill Hill Broadway. 500. I think it was disappearing into the tunnel, so we wouldn't have caught it if we peered around. So just as we enter a right-hand curve, I believe, so the next curve to the right, the RAF museum should be on the right-hand side, on the inside of the curve, from what I understand according to Google Maps. And I believe that is the M1 on the left. And notch 3 on the power handle again. And this is Hendon Station. Correction, Mill Hill Broadway. I don't know why I keep getting ahead of myself. Right, I'm going to get my thing back out. So a mile and a half after Hendon Station, there's an 85 limit coming into force. Just going to keep an eye out for. That's the RAF museum. I've been in there. It's actually very, very cool little building. I wonder how that, like some of the things, they've got like a Sunderland in there, in pretty much fully assembled condition. It just makes you think, how did they get that in there, right? Hello 222. Of course the fast lines and the slow lines at this point do split, but we'll merge back together pretty much immediately. Put the power back in just to keep us going. So gotta keep it. And the line diverging to our right hand side there is the Dudding Hill line. It runs from Acton to Cricklewood. Okay, mile and a half from here, we've got the 95, so we're going to knock the power handle off. And I'm just going to go step 1 brake. It's a nice gentle brake application. So we've got about 45 seconds from passing the station until the point that we pass. Maybe a little bit less. And brakes off again. On the left there, that's Cricklewood Depot. Also where they take, which is depot for Eastmeads trains, or Eastmeads Railway. And also a depot for waste removal from London. Unfortunately I've missed some of the 319s, guys, I do apologise for that. That's the 95 warning board. Not to worry, we've got the 95, got the power off, I'd like to keep it going. Got the greenhouse spikes. That did just change a lot at the very last minute, so I've got to be aware of that one. Just going to keep it a little bit below 90 just to try and get a bit of, because we're not that far out of being able to work that. Okay. Passing Cricklewood Station, I'm going to break it down to 85 miles per hour. Just going to tap power out. That's 85 in the bracket. So if we get a single amber aspect coming up ahead, we're going to stamp on the brakes hard. So take her into full service pretty much. I'm actually really enjoying this. 85 board, so at 85 we close down to 80, which is fine. Going to keep notch 2 power on just to give us a bit of speed here. This is West Hampstead Thameslink station. This actually opened as West Hampstead station at the time that the route did. Yay, more class 319 action. I did really well at replacing all the 319s in this scenario, apparently. going to bring the speed down towards 75 miles an hour. It's going to leave the tunnel at 75. Yeah, got the 80 entering, but we're going to aim to leave at 75. I'm just going to take us down to 60 just to give us a bit of comfort zone. Because we're following a train into the station, obviously. What we need to do is get to the speed limit that he's going to be travelling at to keep the spacing the same, if that makes sense. And power off. Brake off, sorry. So 45 in the thing there. That signal applies to us, I believe. So we're very near the station now. There we go, we've got the road again. Just like that. So we were just waiting for that 700 to clear. A bit of a kick in the binaries, power-wise. So that is our 75 limit, or a 75 limit I should say. We follow the high speed limit because we're an HST. If we were a local hauled service, we'd be doing this at 40. Local hauled trains actually operate on here until the late 1990s and early 2000s. And they formed Class 47s with Mark II stock. Which is something I'm hoping to do in the next few weeks, is head up to Edinburgh and get one of the congestion buster Glen Roads and Thornton trains, so that I can get a Mark II in before they leave sort of mainline service. I'm really just keeping it nice and gentle on the approaches now. Got 43 departing out towards us. I say this is just something that we're not be seeing anymore, really. Put a bit of energy on. So that turn off there, that was on to the left. That I saw it, but I missed the chance to commentate it. That was the turn off of the barking line, the Gospel Oak barking, and it joins a junction road junction. So at the 60, if we were travelling at 60, we'd be looking to break down towards 20. Actually, to 70. My apologies. Coasting in there. What do we like for timing this of arrival? Yeah, we're going to be about 2 minutes late on the way in, unfortunately. Still got that warning for the 20 there. And a 50 on it. In force. So I'm going to give it 2-3 seconds and then go. If we just peek it through the corner. I do like the cab light, I find it very atmospheric, that sort of yellowed out colour. And there's a 700 entering Thameslink tunnels in front of us. So that Thameslink tunnels there, they lead through to the south of London. and you know they go right the way through in down to, that train will be going probably towards Brighton or somewhere like that. Since the extended Thameslink franchise program shenanigan, they go everywhere. They do services from basically Sussex up to Peterborough. It just goes everywhere. I think it is they do Brighton to Peterborough now, which is like basically 3 hours on a train. But I think it would be quite a cool run to do. Well, the middle bit would be cool, Thameslink. But after that, meh. I'm also hoping to do a full route learning video for the Thameslink route from Brighton right the way up to Bedford. But that's probably going to take a while because it's about a 3-hour run. It's honestly almost quicker for me to route learn the East Coast Main Line. And in fact, some routes for the East Coast Main Line, as in the merged one, would be quicker. I think it's about an hour and a half to do Newark Northgate to King's Cross. That's a full run. It's about, well, 2 to get up to 2 hours-ish to, probably a bit less than an hour and a half, about an hour and 10, an hour and 20 to get up to Northgate. Right, the speed got ahead of us a bit there. So just going to bring it back to 20. You can see class 374 in there from the Eurostars. And we've got the 15 limit for the pull-in. Brakes are still releasing. We use notch 1 of power to bring us in. So, welcome to London St Pancras. Of course, the busiest station on the route with about 31 million passengers last year. Split between Southeastern trains on class 395s, Eurostar on their class 374s and 373s, also on 43s and 222s. As well as Thameslink, because they have St Pancras Thameslink, which is just under the main platforms, and they do stuff down there. Just got a brake off. Gently dabs the brake just to give a nice controlled arrival. Just pull forward a little further. Just the tiniest amount of nudge of power there. And 1, 2, and stop. There we go. And we're just going to set that off, release the doors, ignition key goes off, markers, tail lamps, and that can go off, and we'll turn the electric train supply for the rear of the train. So guys, that is today's little rundown from Bedford down to St Pancras. Hopefully we'll be bringing another route loading video up very soon. I'm hoping for the next video to be a class 365 run in Network Southeast days from Peterborough down to King's Cross. Anyway guys, I hope you all enjoyed today's video. If you did, hit that like button, subscribe to see more from me about 4 o'clock most days, and we'll see you in the next one. Bye for now.